Yeah, so I'm about to do Company of Champions New Game Plus, but I got really stocked up. So, first off, my standard setup, I'm going to change this a lot, but I got Long Sword, Old Knight Great Sword, Composite Bow, Drake Keeper's Sword, Defender's Shield, then I got a mix of Cyan and Ruin Armor here. Everything's all max upgraded. Then I got like all the rings I need. I had to use some bonfire aesthetics to get some of the +2 versions of these rings, which means that some of the bonfires in the new playthrough are going to be like +3 instead of +2. And then we stocked up on like everything. So this stuff is all grayed out because I can't deposit any more into my item box storage on the right here. So I grinded for like the max amount of human effigies, 99 in my inventory, 99 in storage. Same thing with life gems, green blossoms, all 4 of the elemental defense consumables, and then all 4 of the elemental offense consumables, max stack of all 8 of those things. Yeah, and then because I have the composite bow, I stocked up on like the maximum amount of like all 6 different types of arrows that I might use. So we got, well, I guess I won't use the wood arrows much, but we got iron arrows, so like standard damage, magic arrows, lightning arrows, fire arrows, dark arrows, and 999 of each, and then 999 of all of them in storage, which means if you do the math, I have over 10,000 like really good arrows for the next playthrough. And keep in mind, like, I can get more stuff during the next playthrough. My main concern is the human effigies. These took the longest to grind. I don't know how many total. I just kind of did a little here, did a little there at Belfry Luna, killing the hounds. And so I basically have 200 human effigies, or 198. Stack of 99 in my inventory and storage. But the longest grind was my character. My character is level 410. You can see I'm in the Company of Champions there. I hope that carries over into the next playthrough. If not, I'll just have to join it again at the beginning. So player status. Yeah, we got 86. Let's see. We got 84 vigor, 80 endurance, 70 vitality, 10 attunement. I don't need that. I'm a pure melee build, so I don't need spell casting. 80 strength, 53 dex. Now, I have like some sort of strength plus dex stuff and some strength stuff. I got strength higher than dex because strength just is more effective with scaling damage. 46 adaptability. That's calculated for the iframes that I currently get for rolling. And then 20 faith and intelligence. Even though I'm not going to be casting any spells, you get a lot of bonus to your like magic, fire, and other elemental defenses if you level up intelligence and faith. But it only really works to level 20, because as soon as you try to level them to level 21, it like the buffs drop off like a cliff, which I'm glad about, so no pressure to level it past there. So we are like a pure melee build, level 410, but Company of Champions New Game Plus and the DLC is going to be so hard. I got a taste of what it's like by using bonfire aesthetics, and it is not easy. So my future videos are going to be the Company of Champions New Game Plus playthrough, which is going to be awesome. I'm not going to do like a let's play because like, I don't know, it takes a lot of energy to do that, but the highlights and maybe some dangerous routes will get clips. And now for my weapons. So I have the my armor is a mixture of cyans and ruin armor. The plate and legs are ruin armor, and the helm and gauntlets are cyans. Look really good together. I look kind of like a bronze ancient soldier. And, you know, I like golems, so the fact that in the lore, the ruin sentinels that this armor is from, they're basically like animated suits of armor that are empty on the inside that you have to fight. So very golem-like. And I think this is going to be my most common weapons that I hold. Longsword in right hand, Drakekeeper's sword in left hand. The longsword has like better stamina efficiency, lower cost than the Drakekeeper's sword. But the Drakekeeper's sword is it has slightly longer range and does slightly more damage. So I can either wield them individually. I can two-hand the longsword. I can two-hand the Drakekeeper's sword if I switch the composite bow to my right hand to avoid the power stance override. Yeah, if I need a thrust attack, I can two-hand my longsword. And I can just do this. This is really good at beating like red phantoms. The poke just like staggers them. It's a really nice combo. And then I can power stance these two swords, obviously. So when I switch to my power stance, I hold it like that. Then I can swing both swords at the same time for really high DPS. Or I can do this cross attack, which is like really good. I have been practicing the jump attack, which I know it doesn't sound like it should need practice, but the time is kind of hard to get down, so I plan on doing that in the next playthrough a lot. And then I have, in my left hand, I can quick swap to the Defender's Shield, one of the best shields in the game. It's just a really good shield, really good stability, good elemental defenses. Not much else to say, it's just a really good shield. And then I can quick swap from the longsword to the Old Knight Greatsword, which has the highest poise damage by far out of any Greatsword class item. You'd have to go up to an Ultra Greatsword to rival it. It breaks easily, but I have plenty of weapons I can swap to once this breaks. One-handed attack is good for hallways because it doesn't hit the wall due to the sort of staying in your line of direction. And then the composite bow I can switch to. I don't want to fire arrows right now because I already have the max amount of arrows saved up. But with this thing I can either shoot like this or I can lock on, obviously. And the composite bow is just so good for like not super long range, but like medium range. It's just so good. The longbow is slightly better for like super long range, but I'm going to be like whipping this thing out. I have, as I showed before, I have like every type of arrow, like max stock going into the new game. I got a max stock of like iron, magic, lightning, fire, and dark arrows for whatever I could come across. And I am just locked and loaded. And then in my inventory, now keep in mind, I'm going to be switching these loadouts. You don't just want to carry everything all the time, even if you're under the 70% equipment load, to create the faster or medium rolling, because even if you're in the same tier of like medium rolling versus fat rolling, it's better to have lower equipment load, because the lower your equipment load percentage out of your max, the faster your stamina regen speed. And that stamina regen speed is actually, it makes a big difference to have less things equipped. So whenever I go on a difficult route, I'm going to figure out what is the best of these things to have equipped, so that I don't have anything unnecessary to drag down my stamina regen speed. So, but if I could only pick one loadout for the whole game, it would be this: longsword, Old Knight Greatsword, composite bow in my right hand, and then Drakekeeper's sword, Defender's shield in my left hand, with my rings being something like Third Dragon Ring, Chloranthy Ring, Ring of Blades +2. I had to kill the Twin Pursuers in New Game Plus just to get that, and I did it in Company of Champions just to get a taste of this next playthrough. Anyways, Ring of Giants +2, increased poise. I'll be swapping this fourth slot out a lot. Like sometimes I might use the Ring of Steel protection. Sometimes I might use like an elemental defense ring if the consumables I have stacked up aren't going to cut it. The life ring to get more max health. But yeah, and then I have one more really good weapon that I have in reserve. Because you might be wondering, like, oh, it looks like you have slash and arrows and thrust damage, but where's the strike damage? Well, if I really need it, and I have time to go into my inventory or to prepare, I can bring out the Giant Warrior Club maxed out weapon that I have. This thing, oh my goodness. This Giant Warrior Club is insane. It needs 60 strength just to equip it. And it is just such a heavy hitter. Pure strike damage. I can use the consumables on it to buff it even more. This thing is just... it is incredible. Like... oh man, I don't even know where to begin. Like this thing, it's so slow, but it's just like... it's just awesome. Anyways, yeah, so I'll be busting this thing out when I have something like weak to strike. And... yeah, it's just a... all this stuff is maxed out. I'm excited for the new playthrough. And my future videos will probably be highlights from the Company of Champions and New Game Plus playthrough.